what the plastic containers weigh. But if you use the bag doesn't weigh anything. So, I mean, again, maybe 25 cents worth. It's, not that much, but it's still just a nice little trick. And, sometimes every little penny helps. So if you're consecutively buying stuff, it really saves over time.
Yes. So you would recommend using the bags over the plastic containers if you can?
Yeah, because for weight issues, yes. But you do have to be careful because some things will rip through that. So if you fill it like with some of the beans or something like that, the bag rips open, then you kind of
and you make a mess that somebody has to clean up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you made a mess.
That's a great tip. Thank you.
Okay.
So is there anything here as far as snack-wise that, when you're buying nuts or, something?
Sure. So Allison's asking about snacks and nuts specifically. So you can absolutely buy nuts here in the bulk section, and then also we're moving towards the packaged nuts. And our tips around nuts are that purchase them raw and unsalted, and that is the most helpful way to get the nuts. And then of course at home you can roast them yourself and you can salt them yourself. But the minute you start to expose a nut to heat, the fats start to degrade, and so you don't want it exposed to heat before you do. So raw nuts would definitely be the way to go. And different nuts have different benefits. So someone was asking about almonds. Almonds are sometimes called the king of nuts, and they're amazing. They taste so good. But walnuts are amazing. They're higher in omega-3 fatty acids. And somebody pointed out to me that they look like little brains. And so, think about how they might be helping your brain when you're eating them, right? Those anti-inflammatory fats are actually helping your brain work better. But we can move over here to the nut section. Oh, we have a question.
Beans that should be avoided?
Are there any beans that should be avoided? I guess on a case-by-case basis, there might be. But again, they all have different benefits. The big issue with beans is the preparation of the beans. Beans have a compound called phytic acid that makes them very difficult to digest. So the act of soaking the beans overnight, the way our grandmothers did, makes beans much more digestible. Okay? All right, so this is where Whole Foods has the nuts. And they come packaged in all different ways.
Okay, I have to get close to you so you can hear.
I love it. And so again, it can be confusing, but you definitely want to look for whole cashews. These have not been roasted and they haven't been salted. Obviously, they're labeled as such if they are. Another great thing about Whole Foods is that all of the dried fruit is sulfite free. So if you buy the dried fruit in a conventional supermarket, you might notice that it would be a brighter color. And the reason it has a brighter color is because it's treated with a preservative. And they don't even have to put that preservative on the ingredient list.
Wow, that's interesting.
And kind of sneaky, right?
Yeah.
So that you're protected in this store from those things, which is really nice. And again, you see how dark the folks on Facebook can see how dark
Take our word for it.
Take our word for it. So for instance, apricots is a good example. So if you see apricots in a conventional supermarket and they're bright yellow, they've probably been treated with sulfites. Okay? So anybody have questions about nuts or dried fruit? Okay. Beans, more bean questions.
Soak the mung beans. Are they supposed to double in size when they're soaked?
They might, because we were asked if the mung beans double in size when they're soaked. They might be because they're absorbing the water. So when you soak them, you don't want to use the soaking water. You want to rinse them and then cook them. Yes?
Will you have mushy when you cook them?
I'm not an expert in mung beans, but they probably will. Some beans cook up mushy, some beans cook up, more firm. Lentils also, if you use red lentils, they're going to get more mushy. and green and black lentils tend to hold their shape more. Yes. All right, so let's head over to dairy. I'm going to walk past the beer. All right, how are we doing, Elizabeth? Good. Are people actually watching?
We have 16 people watching.
Wow, that's fantastic. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. So please share it with others. Tag people you think might be interested in this information. And send me some love and some likes so that we know that we're giving you some information that's helpful.
And I'm just going to repeat that we're streaming live on the Facebook page of Thrive Naturally.
Great. So far so good. Everyone who's here live, thank you for being here live. So, I get a lot of questions about cheese. Does anyone like cheese?
Yes.
Can you raise your hand on Facebook if you like cheese? So what I recommend here is really all the cheese is you're protected here in Whole Foods from antibiotics and hormones, which is great to know. And the cheese that I'd like to recommend is the goat cheese. So this is the Whole Foods brand of goat cheese, and you can see it has the organic sticker on it, so you know that it's USDA organic. So again, you're insured, no hormones, antibiotics, pesticides. And the reason I like goat cheese so much is that it's really flavorful, and it's much more difficult to overeat than a lot of other cheeses. So I always use mozzarella as an example. So mozzarella really only tastes like salt, and you can literally eat a pound of mozzarella without even blinking. But goat cheese, really an ounce, can be very, very satisfying. So this is actually, how many servings do you think, this bar? 15 servings? 12? 4. It's 4 servings, right? So 1 ounce of cheese is a serving. So what I typically will do is I'll bring this home, I'll cut it into 4 equal pieces, wrap it up in some plastic wrap, and then I have a serving of cheese to grab and go or to add to something. All right, does that make sense to everyone? All right, excellent. Okay, let's head down the dairy aisle. Yeah. Sliced cheese.
So I'm having a hard time, with my kids, to find organic sliced cheese that's white, not yellow. See, I bought already the package for my husband's like, this isn't good. It's, he doesn't like the consistency. It's too thick, but no deli really has organic sliced.
No. This brand, which is 365 brand of cheese, and then also Applegate Farms, which you can find in other stores, is going to protect you from a lot of things that a deli cheese is not protecting you from. Okay? And so you kind of have to tell your husband to get over it.
I should have bought them.
Yes, you should next time, Jen. You have to
You
bring
can listen to the broadcast.
Okay, so we'll head down the dairy aisle. How are we doing for time? We're doing
I think
okay?
we're doing good.
Okay, excellent.
So we're going to head to dairy now.
I know.
Oh, before dairy.
Before we get to dairy, we're going to get to the infamous bars.
The wall of bars. So when we do this shopping trip at the Jericho store, the wall of bars is twice as big. I mean, it is just so completely overwhelming. And many clients that I shop with, we get to this wall and they almost get dizzy. Like, how do I know what bar is good for me? And so I think I can help you. What you want to look for are some ingredients that might sabotage your health and perhaps your weight loss goals or your wellness goals. And the one that I really warn people about is soy protein isolate. So for many bars that are vegetarian or vegan, the protein is not coming from an animal source, right? It's coming from a plant source. And when you isolate the soy in protein, isolate the protein in the soy, it increases its phytoestrogenic effect on your body. and this can cause everything from cystic acne to man boobs. All right, so it's something that I like to keep my clients away from, and there are plenty of choices that don't include that. The other thing that you want to be mindful of if you have any digestive issues, IBS, anything like that, are sugar alcohols. So again, it's not that sugar alcohols are necessarily bad for your health. They don't raise your blood sugars. That's the appeal of them. But for many clients, they cause a lot of digestive distress. So gas, bloating, the big D. And so, very often if you eat one of these protein bars or energy bars that has a chocolate coating, but is low in sugar and low in calories, it probably has some kind of sugar alcohol like erythritol, maltitol. Perhaps you've heard of these ingredients. So that's just something that you can then be your own label detective about. My favorite bar of late are RX bars. And the reason that I like them so much is, close up, those are the ingredients. So I'll read them off to Tina's listeners. Egg whites, almonds, cashews, dates, no BS are the ingredients. And I love mint chocolate. Another favorite, chocolate peanut butter is great. And this one's a big hit, is the chocolate sea salt. Okay?
So you're saying chocolate in this one is okay?
Chocolate's a wonderful food.
Saying though something about the sugar alcohols?
This doesn't have sugar alcohols. Usually,
even though it has the chocolate.
It has chocolate, but not as a chocolate coating.
Oh,
very
okay.
good question,
Okay.
Allison. Very good question and observation. So again, here at Whole Foods, you can taste anything that you want before you purchase it. And so if you want to, so we'll break that up, and everyone can taste the RX bars. Another reason I love these bars so much is that they're very chewy. So Kind bars can be fantastic, but I find personally that when I have a Kind bar, I just woof the whole thing down. I don't even realize I ate it. But the RX bars, because they're chewy, and I don't want to choke on it, I have to be a lot more mindful about eating it. So it takes me longer, and my body's kind of registering that I had a substantial snack, and it keeps me very satisfied.
Now, would someone have an RX bar as a meal? Is it a snack? What would you suggest?
Great, excellent question. So we were asked, would you have an RX bar as a snack or as a meal? And I think it really depends on the individual. So it can make a great breakfast. It would also make a fantastic post-workout snack because it has protein, good quality protein. It has fat in it from the nuts, and it also has carbohydrates from the dried fruit. So it's actually the perfect storm of a post-workout snack. Thank you, Anthony. Look at how we cut this up for everyone. I'm not going to, because then I'll be chewing it and I won't be able to talk. So I won't have it. For all the paleo fans out there, these are fantastic for a paleo diet. So these are called Epic bars. And this has grass-fed beef in it, which might appeal to some people. It might not appeal to some people. But again, for paleo diets, these are very high quality.
It actually has beef in it?
It's actually, it's kind of a take on, it's like healthy beef jerky.
Okay.
Right, so we've all heard of beef jerky. And you might know about the paleo diet, which prioritizes eating a lot of animal protein. Kind of like the way cavemen ate. And so these are very good quality. Kind bars can be wonderful too. Just look for the lowest sugar varieties. And then again, some of their products do have soy protein isolate in them. So just look out for that as well. Lara bars can be good too, but they're higher in sugar. So what I usually recommend for that is that you cut them into small pieces and not eat them all at once. They can be great for kids as a snack, like an after-school type snack as well. Yes.
So which one of these would be the best if you were dieting? Was those are 210 calories?
They are. So this, if you were, I hate that word dieting, but if you were looking to get to your goal weight, then you would think